I was supposed to make a quick review of the Korean series Sweet Home, but turns out it's only a generic zombie apocalypse plot. The world is filled with monsters and a few everyday people barricade themselves in a building. How many times have we seen that so far? And the fact the protagonist is a hikikomori that has the special power of not becoming a mindless monster and also has super fast regeneration came off as low-tier power fantasy for otakus. So I moved to Kingdom, which is also a Korean zombie apocalypse plot, hoping it will not be something so generic. And holy smokes, it wasn't! It was something between Game of Thrones and Romance of the Three Kingdoms, but in Korea! It takes place centuries ago, which by itself is fairly unusual, but it's also showing how things were back then, so it's not like they dress differently and they otherwise live and think like modern people. Instead of spending the whole show barricaded inside a building and not having a clue of what is going on outside, which is what happened in Sweet Home, Kingdom is taking place mostly in the open and in a dozen different places. There is variety in locations and the characters are constantly on the move. You are never allowed to get bored because nothing lasts too much and you are never stuck in the same place. Furthermore, there is so much going on besides a zombie apocalypse. The living are fighting each other over sinister agendas and going as far as deliberately using the undead to their benefit. There is political intrigue, a conspiracy regarding the successor to the throne, a cover-up regarding the previous war, a mystery regarding the way a flower affects people. No, it has nothing to do with symbolisms. And the peasants who are doing all sorts of creepy stuff during a famine in order to survive. The action scenes are also pretty good. Martial arts with cool sword fighting and hundreds of people fending off the zombies by using field tactics and all sorts of traps for luring them at certain locations. Plus, the cinematography during all that really helps in building up atmosphere and tension. Did I have issues with the show? Yes, but they are not big compared to the good stuff. The power scaling can be hard to follow at times, since some characters are average people on one episode and when the plot calls for it, they become super soldiers who can best hundreds of enemies. Although many characters are indirectly responsible for the spreading of the disease that creates the zombies, they forget it as soon as they admit it was their mistake. The addition of comedy skits during zombie attacks wasn't very tactful. You can't have hundreds of horrifying undead eating people alive and then sometimes you make it look funny. Luckily, those things don't happen all the time and even then they don't really ruin the overall much. The most casual viewers won't even notice them. As a whole, it's a great action thriller, and despite ending in a good point, it still leaves room for another season where they can expand the world and the lore even further. If I am to give it a score, I would give it something between a 7 and an 8, while the generic stuff that was Sweet Home gets a 5.